Wayfeather Media presents Clairvoyaging. Rennie, welcome back to Clairvoyaging. We're so excited for this episode because we're going to have a little channeling message, right?
Yeah. Thank you for having me back. Yes, I am going to go into a trance channel and I'm going to bring through everything that the Galactic Federation wants everyone to know about 2025.
Wow. Okay.
So before we jump into the channeling, who are we going to be communicating with today?
The Galactic Federation of Light would like to come through with that message. And if you remember from the last time that I was here, they are like the UN. They make sure that everyone adheres to universal laws. No one's going to, blow up the planet, that kind of thing. They help, the members of the Galactic Federation do help us not go into nuclear activity because that would be detrimental to the Earth and the Earth must stay. So we're prevented from making that type of impact on the Earth. And so that's just one way in which they help us. But they're also helping us to raise our consciousness. They are benevolent beings who are here to serve, to help us to grow and ascend, to bring us into a higher level of consciousness.
Amazing. Okay.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
And some people really need some help with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all need help with it, but we're all on a different point in our ascension path.
The term Galactic Federation of Light, is that a term they use?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have asked for other names, they're like Agap Bashar and there's Abraham. I'm like, can I just have an easy,
can I have one, one name, one being?
One name, and then they're like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. It is what it is. As far as the channeling goes, what are the rules of engagement here? If I have a question, should I wait, or are you just going to speak, or how does this work?
So I'll go into the trance channeling. I'll bring through what they have to bring through.
Yeah.
And then I will tell them to open up for questions.
Beautiful.
So if you have questions, then you can ask them while I'm still in trance.
All right. Frank, No jokes.
No jokes.
Don't joke with the space fuzz.
Shushy.
Just be quiet.
Shushy. Listen to the Galactic Federation.
All right.
Until it's time.
Okay. Got it. So when you are ready.
Okay. It's going to take me a second. And before we hopped on this call, I've opened the Akashic record for humanity and Earth. I also opened the Akashic records of democracy because I have a feeling some information is going to come through around that as well. So the Akashic records hold all of the information that's ever happened to our souls. And so I typically do my work in the Akashic records. And so I have already opened them. So they're ready to go in that sense. In just a moment, as I go into the trance state. Dear ones, we are the Galactic Federation of Light. We are honored to bring through this message regarding your year of 2025. We are benevolent beings of the light. We are honored to communicate with you in this way. Please know that 2025 is a 9 universal year, bringing to completion cycles You may see that certain things come to an end in your life. There may be relationships that have come to their end point that have served their purpose. It could be friendships, it could be jobs, it could be places in which you live, it could be cycles that you have gone through with your partner or within your own energetic field. It could also be in your finances. Do not be afraid for cycles to come to completion, for everything has its purpose. There is no need to fear letting go what no longer serves you, for letting go of what does not serve you will allow for the things that you would like to bring into your life to come forward. Just think of the things that you've been holding on to that are no longer in alignment and feel the weight of that energetically. It is much like outgrowing your clothes. Trying to put on clothes that you wore when you were 12 are not going to fit you now. You must discard what no longer fits. And it is okay if it does not fit any longer. You are growing and evolving. You are going through your ascension process. And as you go through your ascension process, you are all at different levels. So, if you are working diligently in your own energetic field in raising your vibration, and someone that you have always been friends with is not doing their work and would like to stay in a state of maybe denial, or they are just not willing to do anything to move their vibration upward, then you may have an incongruence with your energetic compatibility. Or if one person is working on their vibration, bringing it upward, and the other person is not, you may not be a vibrational match. It is much like a tuning fork. If two tuning forks are incongruent, the vibration will be in sync. And if it is not, it will be repelled. So we would encourage you all to take stock of what is in alignment for you and what is not. And do not be afraid to let anything go that is no longer in alignment for you. We understand that there are emotions that may keep you from being ready to let these things go. But you will do so in your own time. Just do not have fear of letting it go, because it will keep all of the blessings that you are calling forward from being able to have space to come into your world. So let's say that you are in a relationship and you know that it's not the right relationship. We are using this as an example. If this is not the right relationship, but you're holding on to it out of fear that nothing is going to come in its place, you are holding onto someone else's soulmate, and you are keeping your soulmate away, or you are not making room for that person. And it is okay to be alone. Partnership is good, and some are not meant for partnership. If you are meant for partnership and you are in a relationship with someone that is not your soulmate, do not fear letting them go, for you will allow for your person to come forward when you do let go, and you allow the other person to find their soulmate partner as well. It is much like being in a position at an employer, and you are dreading going to work every day. And you know that this is not what you are meant to be doing, but you keep doing it because it is a safe, stable, secure job. There is someone out there that is just dying, waiting for that position to open up because it is their dream job. It is everything that they're looking for. Yet you're holding on to it and it is making you miserable. Maybe your soul wants to do something else and you keep getting the nudge that there is something else. Take the leap of faith. You will find fulfillment when you follow the nudges of your soul. The other person will find their dream job and you will be much more fulfilled following your intuition to where it is asking you to go. Much like this channel, we will quickly bring through the little bit of story around this. This channel had been in a position with a great company and it was sucking her life force energy out because she was meant to be doing this work and not corporate accounting. There was someone just waiting for that position to open up. And now that person has that position in a good company, and this channel is much more fulfilled in doing her soul mission work. The universe has provided every step of the way, and this is just an example of what it could be for you. So, this is around the cycle completion. Take good stock of what is and what isn't in alignment for you. Do not fear letting go of what has been, as you will make room for what is meant to be. Now, dear ones, regarding your ascension, we've already been speaking about the Schumann resonance and the solar flares and geomagnetic storms. These are all happening to bring light codes into your souls and into the earth. The earth is also ascending. This is the time of the Great Awakening. This is a very, very, very important time in the universe. Where the light has already won, we understand that the world looks like it is in chaos. But to know that this is just the death of 3D consciousness. It is much like the birthing process. You build up as the baby grows. The most intense of the energies happen during the actual birthing process. You go into labor, then you deliver the baby. There's the most tension right before the biggest breakthrough. Just before that baby is pushed out, there's the most friction. And once that baby is delivered, then the body goes into recovery and the baby continues to grow. You are in that period of the greatest tension and friction. It is the time in which the lower vibrational frequencies are coming to the surface, where they cannot be hidden in the dark any longer. It is the death and destruction of those lower vibrational frequencies that have held power over others, where there has been greed, where there has been a materialistic culture. And you are moving into the new earth frequencies, the 5D consciousness, in which materialism is not going to be really a thing. It is all about vibrational frequency. It is about being the level of consciousness that is love, kindness, dignity, respect, joy, passion, purpose, helping one another out, making sure that everyone is taken care of, that no one is left behind. You have seen that those that have exerted power over others for personal gain have been starting to see the justice system and karma catch up. There are those like Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy Combs and the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch that have started to see the consequences of their behaviors. Whether the energy was as bad as it is being portrayed to be, that is yet to be determined. But you are seeing that people are starting to be held to account for their actions. So the energies of human trafficking, of the drug trafficking, of trafficking children, all of this, sex trafficking, all of those types of energy are no longer being tolerated, and the karma and justice are coming for those energies. You are seeing that corruption is coming to the surface, that misdeeds are being brought up into conscious awareness. This is all a part of this karmic cycle completion. You are now in the age of Aquarius, and the power is in the people's hands. You will see many governments topple, as you've already seen quite a few topple over the last 6 weeks. This is a time of great recalibration. There is much more that is going to occur, and we would like for you not to be in fear. Unplug from the media, where there is an agenda that is being pushed upon you. It is like mass programming occurring. If they can keep you in fear, they can keep you in control. You are not meant to be controlled. You are meant to be a sovereign being of light. You are a sovereign being of light. Whatever you can do to raise your vibration would be very good for you. Drink lots of water. Eat clean, healthy foods. Foods that are whole, that are not genetically modified. Everything that you consume is a part of your diet, whether it is food, beverages, media, TV, books, social media, your friendships, all have a vibrational frequency. So what would you like your life to be? If it is not what you would like it to be, take a look around and see what you are consuming. Is the food that you're eating keeping your vibration down? Are the people that you have been spending your time with holding you back? If you have been watching the news, take a 1 week break from watching the news and see how you feel. We guarantee you will feel better when you are not plugged in. This is just another way in which the lower vibrational frequencies and the darkness have been trying to hold on to their power. However, the light has won, and therefore they cannot hold on. It is like they're holding on to the edge of a cliff by their fingernails, and if they cannot hold on for the long term. But there are lessons that are necessary for humanity to learn. Just as in your own personal life, you have been through what you have been through. You've set out your soul blueprint before you came in. You said, I'm going to have these experiences. I'm going to learn these lessons. And of course, when you came through the birthing process, you forgot all about it because that is what happens. And you learn in the school of earth what those lessons were before you go back through your life review and verify and go through everything that you set out to do and make a new plan. But while you are here, you are making your soul has an agenda. Your soul has a mission. Your soul has lessons that it would like to learn, as well as the collective. So most of you are in the United States. There are lessons that are being learned at this time. There is a reckoning happening at this time. For the land that you stand upon was stolen land. And it was built by stolen people from their land. And there has always been a hierarchy of humanity based on skin color. And this is something that has to come to balance. It has to have its energy cleared. For you are all human. You are all souls having a human experience. We are all one. We are oneness. We are all source. There is no hierarchy. There is vibrational frequency differences, yes, but there is no hierarchy based upon skin color, religion, what have you. It is just a vibrational frequency. Everyone is created equal, and everyone is one with source. Therefore, it would be of the highest good for all to treat one another as you would like to be treated. For you are one, and how you treat one another is how you treat yourself. So there is a reckoning happening at this time where this lesson of inequality is being brought to equality. Now, we're not going to say that it's going to happen overnight because, there are 8 billion people on the planet and it takes longer for 8 billion people to learn their lessons. There are many of you that are already aware of this, very much so. It doesn't matter to you, for you read each other's souls and do not judge upon differences that may be visually available. For you know that you are all human and you all have a good heart. There are people who are in pain, and there are people who are raising the vibration of the planet and humanity. Whatever you can do to raise your vibration will be of the highest good for yourself and those around you, of humanity and the planet. Whatever you can do to help raise the vibration of your beautiful Mother Gaia is of the highest importance at this time. For climate change is real. It is important that you do everything you can do to help protect your home planet. Treat her with dignity and kindness and respect. She sustains your life. What can you do to give back to help her in her healing journey? Recycle, compost, use renewable energies. stay away from fossil fuels, reduce your carbon footprint. All of these things do matter and make a difference. Recycle your textiles. Some of you may not know that is a thing that you may do. And we encourage you to look it up and do what you can to help protect. And the way to change the way in which things are done, let's speak to your consumerism. So if you would like the corporations that produce the goods that you have in your home, maybe you would like for farm workers to have better working conditions. Purchase from companies that provide living wages and good benefits and healthy conditions to the farm workers. Purchase the eggs that are pasture raised, the grass-fed pasture raised milk, or the meat, or the chicken. However it is that makes a difference in the way humanity is treated and the animals are treated. Or how about your bedding and your towels? Sustainable organic cotton with companies that treat their workers well, that are sustainably traded. Or your coffee bean. All of these things do make a difference. And it also creates change in the industry when people are not going for the sweatshop made energies, products that are made with that type of energy. You are creating a change for the betterment of humanity and of the resources of Earth and the living beings that are being utilized for your consumption. So these are all ways in which you can help your planet. If you may plant trees, plant gardens, whatever it is that will help to make the planet heal, that would be very helpful indeed. Now, we have gone over sustainability, the cycle completions. Okay, so now we were referring to the death of 3D consciousness and the alignment to 5D consciousness. This is the time of the Great Awakening, as we had mentioned. It is a time in which what had worked in the past that was acceptable is no longer acceptable. As the consciousness raises, there is more and more information that and ways in which things have been done that are just not sustainable. You may see, like, if you look at old movies, there are things that happened back in the day in the movie that if that movie were made today, it would be not okay. So there is going to be much more of this for equality, more push towards women's rights, for women have just as many rights as men. Innately, you are born with the same sovereignty, and there is no way in which this should be constricted. Everyone is meant to have the same sovereignty. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, transgender, whether you are young, old, whether you are, it really does not matter. It does not matter, for you are all sovereign souls. You all are innately have the innate right to wear what you would like to wear, to do with your body, which you would like to do. There is no way in which you need to wear your hair or anything else. You are a sovereign being of light. And the more that humanity awakens, the more that each individual, no matter which country in which you live, will be treated with that sovereignty, with freedom. There will be a fall of dictatorships and autocracies. For the energy is not compatible with 5D consciousness, with the new earth. It is of the highest and best that societies will work together to create the change, to overthrow these governments that are not serving the highest good of humanity. Now, we are not speaking of taking up arms. We are speaking of consciously making the shift which create the change to topple these types of energies, the energies of the power over others. Power is in the hands of the people now. And by just living into the life that you would like to have for yourself and the energies that you would like to see in the world, if you would like to see that all humans are free, that everyone is created equal and treated that way, if you would like to see that men and women are equal, if you would like to see equal pay, all of these things are achievable. And when you visualize and live into these energies, you are co creating with the universe this as the reality in this planet and in your own life. So, whatever it is that you would like to create for your life, do not look at your external circumstances, for your external circumstances are a reflection of all of the thoughts, actions, and feelings that you have had up to this point. That is your external reality. Now, there is a gap period between how you are experiencing your reality now as that accumulation of everything that came before and the experience of the life that you are living into. There's a little bit of a gap period. It doesn't have to be a long period of time, but it does happen where you may not see the external reflection right away, but keep living into the life that you desire and the world that you desire to live in, and your external reality will catch up. And as you start living into that version, start creating the next version in your mind. This is how you collapse timelines, by living into the next version. And as that starts coming into fruition, you start living into the next version, whether it is in your own life or into the collective. It is available, and that is the way to raise the vibration and change your trajectory of your life and that of the collective. The more of you that awaken to the truth of who you are, and the more that you live into the higher vibrational frequencies and the vision that you hold so dear of this world that you would like to create, this is creating that as your reality. And the more of you that can hop on board into this way of being, the faster this transition can occur in the collective. The more that you visualize your life the way that you would like it to be, the more that you take the actions and have the thoughts and feelings of the person that is already living that version of your life, the faster it's going to come into your physical existence, into your physical reality. So, what is it that you truly desire? What does that version of you do with their time? What thoughts do they have? What feelings do they have? Who are they being in this world? Who are they showing up as? Then you're going to take those thoughts, feelings, and actions every single day as you come into alignment with that version of yourself. Life does not have to be difficult. In the 3D structure, there has always been power over. The power was in others' hands. And you are awakening now to the reality that the power has always been in your hands. You are the power. You are the sovereign being of light, and you are the creator. And you can create anything. 2025 is still going to be a bit of a bumpy road. We are not going to gaslight you. We are going to tell you the truth that there are things that are going to happen within this calendar year that are going to be difficult. This is not to scare you. This is just to let you know that there are bumps in the road. But no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. The earth is going to be okay. The collective is going to be okay. This is still the process of birthing the new consciousness. It is getting easier. There will be infighting. There will be flare-ups of tempers that are happening around the world. But this is just the death of 3D. And once that energy clears, you will be able to move much more quickly into 5D consciousness and the new earth frequencies. This is why it is very important to have some practices around your own vibrational frequency each day at the end of the day before you put yourself to bed. Return everyone else's energy that's held within your energetic field back to whom it belongs with love so that you are returned back to your own energy, and we'll just give you the words to say. You can use this as a template. You can make it your own. But as you're going to sleep, you're just going to say, I now return anyone else's energy that's held within my energetic field back to whom it belongs with love. And I recall all of my energy back to me and all of my power back at this time. It is that simple to clear your energetic field of other people's energy. If you think about it, you're like little lint rollers. Each day you get up and you're a clean, fresh lint roller. You go about your day and you go past the people on your commute to work. And then you go to work and you pass all the people on the street. You're in your office. You're collecting all the little energetic particles of everyone that you're coming in contact with. You go to lunch. You get some more energetic particles. And then you head home. And by the time you get home, there's no more stick left on your lint roller because you have picked up everyone else's energy. You've collected what's happening in the world. You've collected the energies of your coworkers and your kids and the people that were on the train, the plane, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're just picking up everybody's energetic particles. And then you get home and you're wondering why you don't feel like yourself anymore. Why do you feel so drained? Why is it that you just don't feel right? And it's because you picked up everybody's energy. And so this is why doing that practice at the end of the day by just sending everyone's energy back and recalling all of your energy gives you a fresh new lint roller sheet and you can start again. Anytime that you don't feel like yourself, just say, oh, whose energy have I picked up? Let me return it back to whom it belongs. because that will help to keep your energetic field clear. If you can ground your energy, just see little tree roots of light growing out of your feet, going down to the center of the earth, that will keep you grounded. This is just an easy practice. You can see that your entire energetic field is enclosed in a pyramid of white light, and only what is of the highest vibration can come through, and anything that would harm you stays out. These are easy ways to protect your energy and to regain your sense of self, your come back to your own energy without everybody else's energy. This is going to be important. It's always important, but it will be important this year. You are going to be seeing a lot of movement in the earth. There will be many earthquakes, many volcanic eruptions, many hurricanes, many landslides and mudslides, flooding. This will happen throughout the world. And it is because the earth is releasing all of her lower vibrational frequency. Just as you do your own healing work, you clear the lower vibrational frequencies out of your field and you acclimate to the higher vibrational frequencies. The earth does the same thing, and you're going to be seeing an influx of these energetic releases that she will be having as she works to clear her energy to make her way in her ascension. It is not like the earth is upset. It is just that she is holding eons of lower vibrational frequency. Just think about it. She's been absorbing all of the negativity of humanity for all of the time that humanity has been incarnated upon her. She's got a lot of clearing to do, and the way that she clears her energy is to move the energy out, and that will occur as earthquakes and such. We would like for you to be trusting of your intuition when you are traveling. If you get the intuitive nudge not to get on a plane, do not get on the plane. And we would like to just put a caveat here that no matter what happens, your time is your time. There's no exiting when it is not your time. So know that if you are meant to be here, you're going to be here. We're just letting you know that there will be a few more incidents with planes. This does not mean don't take any planes. We're just saying utilize your intuition. Everyone has intuition, and you will know whether it is safe or not. You will get an intuitive hit if it is not meant for you to be on a flight. There is one moment as we tap into nation energies. In the Middle East, there will be a peace agreement which may not hold long term. There is a rebirth happening in the Middle East. There is a lot of energy that is moving in that area. And we would also like to just share that souls that are leaving have soul contracts to leave. There are ways that seem very atrocious to exit the planet, but know that each soul has made their soul contract before they came in of how they would be exiting. And it is just the way in which they decide to leave. If they go out in a mass way, such as 9/11, for example, all of those souls that left at that time incarnated pretty quickly back and at a higher vibrational frequency. They kind of, it's like they volunteered to have an expedited ascension. So know that anyone who is leaving, no matter which way they are leaving, and know that anything that is happening is a lesson. What can we learn from these things? What is it that is necessary to learn? So, for example, in war, maybe the lesson is that disagreements can be handled in a civil manner through dialogue, and there do not need to be weapons. And war is showing that we have moved past that energy. It is no longer a required action that is necessary in order to bring about peace. That civil conversation can bring about civil change. Now, dear ones, we understand that there is a lot going on the earth. There will be a resolution by the end of 2025 for the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. You will see that many of these governmental figures will be exiting your planet at this time. As many of you may have heard, President Jimmy Carter made his journey home yesterday. Rosalind was right there to greet him. He has returned. He has done his utmost work to bring about positive change and to leave the world a better place. And there will be quite a few others that are exiting as well, where they have served their life purpose and it is time for them to return home. So you will see over the year that there are going to be multiple funerals for those that have served in a government role, whether it is in the United States, England, Germany, or any other country. You will be seeing that a lot of these older folks have served their life purpose and they will be making their journey home. And you will see that there is a new way in which the guardrails on democracy are going to be upheld. Anywhere that any loopholes that have been in democracy are going to be shored up. Now, this may not all happen within this calendar year, but it is going to happen in the coming year, where you are being shown where the weaknesses are. And there will be new structures and parameters placed that will fortify democracy. We understand that many of you are worried, but we would like to share with you that there are lessons that are going to need to be learned. We know that many of you were very disheartened by the outcome. There are still timelines being played out here, and not everything is as it seems. We cannot share how everything is going to play out, for that has not yet been determined. But we can say that it is important to continue your work, whatever your belief system is. How can you benefit the greater good of humanity? What can you do to help bring about change for the better for everyone? To enshrine human rights for everyone. It is time to do what you can to help consciously. This is a time in which we are in the conscious revolution. This is a time in which you are consciously and energetically acclimating to higher vibrational frequencies, which are creating the changes and the ripples in the collective. What can you do to create a positive ripple in the consciousness and the collective? Every little step you can take towards making the world a better place is of the utmost importance. You may ask your questions now.
Well, thank you for that message.
You are welcome.
Okay, for individuals who are trying to play their part in creating a reality that's good for them and good for their environment, you called it collapsing timelines. Does a collapsing of a timeline for you into something that in a reality that you want to be in, does that always require a leap of faith?
Not necessarily. It is just an energetic shift, a thought shift, belief shift. So sometimes it will require a leap of faith, but it doesn't have to be a leap of faith. It can just be that you choose that you are going to live life differently, that you deserve more, that you are ready for more, you are worthy of more, that you get to have the life that you choose and you create it. And so in that, you just start to live towards that vision. So you have to be clear of what you want, or if you are not clear, the universe cannot deliver what you are asking for. And that is why many of your manifestations, we do not speak of you, Frank, we're just speaking in general, that many people do not have clarity of what they want, and therefore the universe can't clearly deliver what they are asking for because they do not know. And so the first step is to get clear. What is it that you want your life to be? And then when you have that clarity, you're going to just tell the universe, this is what I want. And you're going to let go of the how and the when it happens, because that is the universe's job. That is not human's job. Human's job, be clear on what you want. Ask for assistance. Take the inspired action. Take the action steps that are being laid out in front of you and move forward. But it is just getting clear, saying this is what I want, and then it's not act as if, but it is to be that version of yourself now while it is becoming your reality.
Mm.
So you are going to be the version of yourself that is living your dream life now, and you are creating that dream life as you be that version of yourself, as you are creating that version. And as you create the version that, let's say you create the first version, you're living into that, you're making that your reality. As you start living into that, you're going to start thinking, okay, now that I have this version of my life, what's the next level version of this? What does that version of myself do? What do I think? What do I feel? What do I do with my time? And then you start living into that version, and it collapses the timelines so that you are, it's kind of like you're skipping steps, but you're just shifting energy quickly and you're making it happen as you go. Does that make sense?
That does.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I very frequently talk about when trying to make decisions on what we're going to do to not be what I call a nebulous cloud of possibilities, and the collapsing the timeline thing, making strong choices for yourself, for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of the people around you, seems like a extremely important task to continue moving forward.
Yes.
So you had mentioned that there can be a gap between what you want to achieve and
Yes.
where you are now. What do you suggest is the easier way to, what makes that transition period easier for people? What can they do?
Continue living into the version of the life that you are creating. Many people, when they enter the gap, get discouraged. They may feel that it's not working. I'm doing something wrong.
Mhm.
I must go back to where I was because
Yeah.
it's just not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not the case. For when you are in the gap, you continue to be that version of yourself that you're living into, and your life will catch up with that version. It is just continue. Let allow the universe to catch up to you. It is like when you put in your Amazon order. You put the thing in your basket, you check out, you know that that item is going to show up on your front door. If you have Prime, it's supposed to be there in 2 days. So you put in that order and you just know that Amazon's going to deliver that thing that you ordered. It's the same thing with the universe. Think of it as you're putting in the Amazon order. You say, universe, this is exactly what I want. And the universe says, okay, we're going to fulfill your order. Now, when we put in our Amazon order, we don't say, well, how is it going to get off of the shelf in the warehouse? How is it going to get into the package? What kind of package is it going to get into? How is it going to get delivered? Is it going on a plane, a train? Is it going on a ship? Is it going in a truck? What vehicle is going to come to my door? Who's going to be the person at the door with the package? That doesn't matter. You just know that when you put that order in, it shows up. It's the same thing with the universe. You put in your order and know that it's always what you desire or better. Because some of you think you want something, but there's something better waiting for you, and you're just settling for what you think you want. Allow the universe to fulfill it because the universe can see everything and knows everything. Your
That's
imagination is
advice.
limited.
Right.
So you can be specific, but leave room for the universe to fill in what you don't know.
I like that because I have heard before that like being overly specific can sometimes be a detriment, but saying this
Some people are specific and some people are not specific. And when you do leave it up to this or better and my highest good, the universe can deliver what you can possibly imagine.
I like this or better.
This or better.
This or better.
I've heard that when you are telling the universe your order, that it's, some say that it's helpful to give like make this happen by like March 1st or sooner.
That is helpful. However, be mindful that the universe has divine timing and divine order.
Yeah.
Things will be delivered when it is most aligned.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not something that is meant for you, and you just won't get it, because I feel like that's sometimes a possibility too.
We'll go back to the partner situation. So some people are holding on to a person that they know is not their soulmate, but they're settling for them because they're afraid to let them go, because maybe no one will show up. But also, once they do let that go, who is someone else's soulmate, they make room for their soulmate to come in. And so there are some times where the thing may not be exactly what is meant for you, but this is where this or better comes into play, because if you leave it at this or better, then the universe can deliver. So many times you guys get stuck on the package. The thing has to look like this, and it has to show up in this way, and it has to show up at this time. And not exactly how the universe works.
Right.
You have to be open to the package being whatever the package is. We're using the example of the partner because this is relevant for a lot of people. So you may want all of these certain qualities in a person, and you're always attracted to a certain look of a person. And you keep finding people that look like the package, but they don't have the qualities inside the package. And you keep trying to fit them into it, but they don't fit because they don't have the qualities. And then you meet somebody and you kind of think, oh, well, they don't look like my normal type, so I'm just going to be nice and friendly with this person. And then it turns out that that's the person that has everything that you're looking for. They're just not in the package that you're attracted to typically. And then the attraction grows because they're everything you're looking for.
Mm.
What's that movie with the girl who gets the glow up and she's perfect? You know the one.
It's all that.
Thank you. Thank you, Galactic Federation. Sometimes they just need a glow up. Okay.
That
You
is
just need
more
to take
of
off
the
her
glow up
glasses.
of the self-confidence and knowing who they are than the exterior package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the inside that is what is attractive.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
It's an internal glow up, Frank.
Yeah.
Yes.
You take off your glasses on the inside.
Change your hair.
Okay.
But if you notice, her confidence changed drastically during that movie. She
Yeah.
did not have confidence in herself. She did not know who she was. And
Yeah.
once she stepped into that confidence, then the love came forward.
It's true.
Vibrations, vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is vibrational.
Yeah.
And back to the Amazon
Yes.
example too. Something that you made me think of was, you don't bother yourself with like the actions at the warehouse and any of that stuff. But what
Yes.
you do when you put in that order is you prepare for it to come by doing everything you need to do to have it.
Yes.
It's if you order a dresser, you're going to make room for the dresser. You're going to get rid of the old dresser.
Yes.
You do everything you can in your power to make sure it's going to
Yes.
fit.
But
If
don't
you have
necessarily-
carpet, you're going to vacuum. If you have hardwood, you're going to mop the floor and make it shine. And then you're going to have the space to put it. You're going to take all of your clothes out of the old dresser so that you have room. And while you have all of the clothes out of the dresser, you might as well go through them and see what is ready to be retired, recycled, or donated. And then there's more room for the new dresser.
Yeah.
And then you can put the dresser together unless it's already assembled. It may not be from IKEA. Then you put all the stuff inside your new dresser in the new space, but you have already created the space for that new dresser. Maybe you post the old dresser on Nextdoor or on Facebook Marketplace or one of the other apps that allows you to sell your items.
Yeah, and that also that also goes back to the concept you brought up of holding on to things that you don't need might be withholding it from someone who that thing is exactly what someone else needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Marie Kondo is very intuitive on this front.
we love Marie.
But
Oh, yeah.
yes, if you have ever read her book, you will find that going through all of your things creates a catalyst of change in your life.
Yeah.
Where you remove what is no longer in alignment, the things that you have been holding on to. All things have energy. And if you've outgrown that identity, that allows somebody else to have the joy. And it makes space in your house. And then new things can come in that are aligned with this version of you or the next version of you.
We're weighed down by
Yes,
our.
you can outgrow spaces, towns, cities, states, countries. It is a thing. And by moving, you can find that it is a good energetic shakeup for you.
Yeah.
There is also astrocartography, which you can look up and see if the place that you live is in alignment with you energetically based on when you were born.
Oh.
Astral cartography?
Yes, astrocartography.
Astro. So you mentioned that 2025 hasn't been determined. Is that in the sense of it hasn't been determined by us, or the powers that be haven't determined what's the best course of action for us to take?
Okay, so there are multiple factors here. When we brought through that information, it is regarding your political climate.
Okay.
And there are multiple timelines. There is the highest timeline, that which was full of hope, promise, and joy. There is everything in between. And there are things being done in the background that are not known by the public at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And how that information, or if that information is shared, has not yet been determined.
Got it.
Because there are lessons that are required, collectively, it is important to choose the timeline that you would like to experience. Everyone is having their own reality. And the degree to which you are experiencing the energies of the collective are based on how tapped into that frequency you are. So there is a lower timeline, and that is of fear. And if you are tapped into that, and we hate to bring forward that the news outlets are very much perpetuating those lower frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
This does not come from the people who are necessarily putting that information forward as the faces of the organizations, but much higher up. Energetically, this information is coming forward. Now, you can choose if you want to go into worst case scenario in your energy and in your mind, and that perpetuates that frequency. You can also choose the highest timeline, whatever that is for you, and live into that. And that helps to create a change in the trajectory. So if everyone hops on the bandwagon of worst case scenario, that's going to perpetuate that frequency. But if people kind of unplug from that frequency and say, that's not going to be my reality, I am going to choose something else, then that dissipates the frequency. And by choosing higher timelines, you are creating a higher frequency, and the lower frequency doesn't have as much hold. Does this make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
I do have a follow-up.
Yes.
Let's say we were looking at people at either extreme, a group that says everything is going to be okay in kumbaya, and people who are like rooting for violence because they think that's the only change. I find myself often somewhere kumbaya leaning, but also like make a whole political party off of kumbaya leaning. But also like I have a belief that like things need drastic change. My favorite card in the tarot deck right now is the Tower. I want to see some things fall so that we can do better.
You are living in the Tower at this time. This is the transition from 3D to 5D.
Mm-hmm.
This is the death of Pluto in Capricorn and the birth of Pluto in Aquarius. This is what you are living through at this time. This is why governments are falling at this time. You have seen this in multiple places. When there may have been stable governments, even if they were those of the oppression, they have been getting toppled because they are not serving the highest good of humanity. This is the type of energy of the age of Aquarius, where if it is not serving the highest good of the people, there is going to be a shift. If you think back to the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, you had the American Revolution, the French Revolution, the Haitian Revolution, and the Industrial Revolution. All of that happened because of the power to the people. So there is change that will occur. Now, this does not mean that arms will be taken up. This means that energetically and consciously, you can create these shifts without having to necessarily go to a physical war.
So then my other question is, for the full Kumbaya crowd, are they just making it as easy as possible, or is there a naivete in that?
There is some where there is the toxic positivity, we shall say. There are some that they are just going to do everything they can to create that as reality. And you will see that many people, such as this channel that did get that it would go a different way, that they're kind of in neutral right now. And it does not mean that there is nothing happening. It is that it's kind of like taking the observer role and seeing things from a higher perspective. The outcome is not yet determined. There is a lot that is going to happen over the next 6 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
That are going to shift things. Does it change the outcome? We don't know yet. We cannot share that yet. But we can say that there is so much that will happen between now and the end of January into February. Things are not set in stone. Things can shift. They may shift. It is possible. Whether it changes the outcomes, really, there are multiple timelines that can occur. And there is information that has not yet been brought forward that could shift things in many different ways. But there's also the lessons that have to be learned. And therefore, the complete outcome may not change, but aspects around it may change. There may be an inauguration and then a change. It could be that there is a change before the inauguration. It is just not determined yet.
Okay.
This channel has tried to tap into this many times and gets the same answer every time and is very frustrated that the timeline has not yet been chosen and there is no way to grasp which timeline is most likely to play out. You have to remember that there is also free will, and there are 300 and something million people in the United States, and the free will of all of those people has to play out. And so it is being worked through. This is why it's very important to choose your highest timeline and to live into it, for it does make a ripple effect in the consciousness, and how things play out. That may it could help in how things play out.
Okay.
So it sounds like buckle up and stay positive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is going to be a very bumpy ride. We will not deter you from that. It will definitely be a bumpy ride. However, you can choose the level of bumpiness. If you plug into the worst case scenario, you're going to have the bumpiest ride.
Right.
Now, if you choose to unplug from that energy of the collective that is all doom and gloom, that is what you will experience. However, if you choose a timeline that you prefer, it will create a ripple of that energy. And most people are going to choose a positive timeline. Like, for instance, in your own life, are you going to choose a timeline where you are constantly in struggle and you can't get ahead and you're just having everything go wrong? This is a negative spiral. You can turn it around and make it a positive spiral. Most likely, given the choice, you're going to choose something that's going to be an upward spiral where you're constantly in growth and bringing in the resources necessary to live the life that you would like to live rather than going the other direction.
Right.
And so, what is that for you? That is an individual choice, what you would prefer.
On that note, can I have you? I have noticed that some people lean into the negativity and a belief system of negativity because they feel that negativity makes them feel special, like they are the world's biggest victim. And it sounds like you might be suggesting that has a ripple effect that can be detrimental to not just themselves, but the people around them.
Yes. Victim mentality is not, it is basically giving your power away. You are not, when you take ownership of whatever you need to take ownership of for yourself, it is beneficial. When you give forgiveness to whoever has done you wrong, that isn't for them, it is for you. But it releases the energetic charge that it has held over you. You are responsible for your own energetic field. No one else is responsible for your energy, and you are not responsible for anyone else's energy. Now, of course, children you're guiding to grow up, but in the overall scheme, you are the one that is in control of your energy, your life, your choices determine that outcome. And if you are not in a place where you are owning your energetic field, you may fall into victimhood. And it does not serve you at all. But many people who are in victim mentality are getting a bigger benefit from playing victim than they are of being in their own sovereign energy. So if they are playing the victim, maybe let's say that they're always playing the victim, that they don't have any money and are always asking family and friends for money to help them out because they can't make things work. Now, people do fall in hard times, and sometimes people do have to ask for money, and that is okay. But we're talking about the ones that are in this pattern of woe is me, I can't do it myself. The people give them the money, and then they're benefiting by playing into that story that they can't create money themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had mentioned that by the end of 2025, we would maybe have a little bit, something that resembles some resolution to some of the trouble. But I assume that it's going to take longer than that, right? Or is this going to be just...
There are certain areas where there will be resolution.
Mm-hmm.
One is the Ukraine-Russia conflict coming to... we're just going into the timeline here. It does look like there will be a resolution before the end of this calendar year of 2025. This is not something that can be sustained long term. there are not enough people, there are not enough weapons, there is not enough determination of the people to continue this.
Yeah.
There will be volatility in the Middle East, but there will be some forward progress towards a more peaceful existence in that area. But also know that these are all lessons being learned that are bringing higher consciousness into existence.
Is there a, a perfect balance between being aware of atrocities that are happening on the other side of the world and like, you know, how much effort we put into that stuff without just being, you know, being on the doom and gloom mainstream media all the time, versus knowing that, like, you know, we can just, like, you know, affect our immediate friends and family in the most positive way possible. Because for someone like me, you know, everything can feel like a first world problem if you're looking at what's going on in Ukraine or Gaza, you know, and like I feel almost insignificant in my challenges, but also knowing that my challenges are mine for a reason.
Yes. You can create change around the world by sending love and light into the world. When you send love and light into the world, you create a ripple effect around the world into everything that is upon the world. And so when you feel disempowered and you cannot make a change, you can send love and light out and it will be received by those who wish to receive it. So that does not affect free will. Anyone who is willing to receive that energy will receive it. And the earth is always, always, always in receptive mode of love and light.
Okay.
Does this help?
I think it does. Lauren, what do you think? Because you have the same issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to like, it's the same idea of like, if everything's a priority, then nothing's a priority kind of thing. Like, you know, sending, like, caring about every single thing makes nothing important, or like it's hard to know where to put your focus. So
yes,
that's,
and it may be that
to think about.
One area may be lighting up at a certain time, and if you can donate to that thing, then donate to that thing, and then maybe 2 months later another area is pinging for you, and then you help with that. Always, 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 you can always send love and light easily. It's free. It takes just a short amount of time, and you can just visualize that. You can just kind of see from source, and you just visualize light up coming from above, and just see it spilling down into the earth, into every cell, molecule, and subatomic particle. You can see it going into the ley lines and the grid lines, and then going out to every single, you know, layer and level. It goes out to all the hearts on the planet. It goes into the water. It goes into the air, into the trees and plants. And it could be as easy as I'm sending love and light to all that are upon earth and the earth. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just by stating that you're sending love and light out, whether it's to someone who's going through something, somebody who's lost somebody, to a situation that's going on around the world, or just in general, that intention brings it to be.
That visualization of like channeling light through you and sending it through ley lines is very empowering. That's I was imagining that. I was like, whoa, that's a great way.
It is very powerful. Yeah. And if you can do it in a group, it's even more powerful.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing it in a group too.
Yeah.
When you feel at a loss for how to help people across the globe, the concept of sending love and light sounds a heck of a lot like, you know, thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers is such an excuse that like modern politicians use.
That we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to put a Band-Aid and say we did something about it. That is not the same.
It is not the same. It feels not the same.
But actively like meditating on something
now,
like that.
Sending prayers, yes. But the thoughts and prayer thing is kind of just a Band-Aid. We don't care about this. We're not doing anything about it.
Right.
in most cases, some people really are sending that energy, and that is fine.
Sure.
But in most cases, it is just a well, we'll just say it. It's like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
The conversation lately with people has been UFOs and things like that. People wanting to. The message is that like we're supposed to be getting more comfortable with
Yes.
Quote unquote aliens. So is this something that like potentially other people might start having contact with the Galactic Federation a little bit more?
Yes. And it may not just be with the Galactic Federation, but with other beings, like the members of the Galactic Federation, such as the Pleiadians. A lot of times the communication is with your galactic family. And so we've discussed that not everyone came to Earth first, and therefore they have a galactic family. You are being prepared for disclosure and contact. It is not going to happen right away. It feels that right now the highest timeline for that to occur is 2027. But you are starting to see things that cannot be explained away. This channel has been able to see these for many years now. And there is a mixture of things that are happening. Yes, there are cloaked ships that are above you. There are drones that are being manipulated by man. And there is also governments that are reverse engineering these ships. And so there is testing going on as well. So you have a kind of a multi-layered thing going on. You do have actual drones, then you have man-made or human-made ships, and then you have the extraterrestrial ships that are above you. Just to put a side note, it is nothing like Independence Day or Alien or anything like that. Hollywood has an imagination. The contact will come with benevolent beings of light, such as the Pleiadians, such as the Arcturians, and others that are here to assist humanity in the ascension process.
Do you have any more final words? I've asked you so many questions, so I don't fully know what I mean by that. But is there any parting messages?
No matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. Continue to live into your highest timelines for yourself and for humanity and the earth, and you will co-create the best possible life you can create for yourself. Do not fear taking those leaps of faith, for the universe will always catch you. And that dream that's in your heart is yours and yours alone. You are meant to bring that forward into existence in your world. Do what you need to do for yourself to bring that to light. For you are the only you in the entire universe. You are the only you that has the unique spiritual soul gift that you have. And the only person that expresses all that you are in the way that you express yourself. You are perfect exactly as you are. You are loved beyond measure. You are valued beyond measure. You are worthy beyond measure. And you are unconditionally always, always, always loved. And you are never, ever, ever alone.
Well, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I do have one note for Rennie in particular here, is that your eyeshadow game is on fire today. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I didn't expect to be looking at you with your eyes closed so much, but I'm like, she did a great job.
Oh yeah.
She did it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us again, Renee. And can you give us all of your plugs, your website, your Instagram, threads?
Yes. Yes. So my website is thelightheals.com. I am the founder of The Light Heals. I have threads and Instagram at The Light Heals, and my YouTube channel is also at The Light Heals. And I've got some good programs this month. So if you're interested in working with me, come check it out.
Amazing.
All right. So thank you, Renee. And I also want to extend our gratitude towards the Galactic Federation of Light.
Yes.
For spending time with us today.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for having me and them. Before we came in, I opened the Akashic Records. I called in all of our spiritual and galactic teams and all of the benevolent beings that were here to support us. So we had quite the army with us.
Very fun. I love that.
Team. That's awesome.
Go team.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we'll check in with you in a couple of months, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I very much enjoyed spending time with you, and this was a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening. Visit www.clairvoyaging.com for show notes, merch, or just to say hi. If you'd like to support our journey, visit www.buymeacoffee.com/clairvoyaging. This has been a production of Wayfeather Media.